to we will record this interview, and also to all the people that is here, just forget to don't turn on your audio and your microphone. Just be careful with that. And well, I will present you to Ted Kopliku. He is a civil engineer graduated from the Polytechnic University of Tirana. He also studied history, international relations, and social sciences at the university in Paul Valéry, Montpellier in France, and he has been active in Albanian politics since his youth and currently aspires to run for the next elections to the Albanian parliament. He is currently coordinating the registration of the diaspora vote in his city, a task entrusted to him by the Democratic Party, to which he belongs. He is also a co-founder of the Brain Gain Department within the same party, a think tank. This Brain Game is a think tank dedicated to fostering the political participation of Albanians around the world, regardless of their place of residence. So I hope this little introduction of TED was just good. So we can start, and TED just, I will start
Thank you
with.
for the invitation. Yes.
Yes, and thanks for being here. Thanks for accepting the invitation. So, welcome to the Dialogues for Albania Future, which we will see pathways, challenges, and opportunities. So first, can you tell us a bit more about what motivated you to get involved in Albanian politics at an early age, and how has your background and civil engineering and social sciences influence of your political approach?
So my motivation to enter politics came from a deep desire to see Albania progress. And I saw, I understood with my studies that growing up, I witnessed both of the challenges and the potential of my country. And I saw how politics can change for the better or worse the political situation, the economic situation, and how political decisions can transformate a country. And I wanted to be a part of solution. My background in civil engineering gave me a structured problem-solving mindset. But to be sincere, my choice to study civil engineering was primarily to find to find a practical solution to have a stable profession to have that could ensure my livelihood. However, it was never my true passion. My true passion was politics, was history, philosophy, and so for that reason, I decided to go in France to pursue my dreams and study subjects that are directly connected to politics. And this experience not only deepened my knowledge, but also exposed me to a different political system in world history problems. And now I'm using this knowledge for my political engagement in Albania. But now I think I did the good choice because in Albania there are not ethnical problems or economic problems. For me in Albania, the problems are political, and the solution will be and have to be political.
Wow, well, great. No, yes, keep.
No, it's
Okay, well, thank you for explaining us like your background, and more talking more about like your role now as a co-founder of the Brain Gain Department of the Democratic Party. Can you explain its role of the Brain Gain Department within the party, and additionally to this, what is your vision for engaging the Albanian diaspora in the country's politics, and what challenges have you faced through this process?
So the brain gain department at the beginning was one of the 26 departments in our party, our political party. So at the beginning was like the Department of Economy, the Department of Agriculture. So brain gain was a project, was a department that had a project for the moment when we came to power to bring back the brain in Albania. But as we are in opposition, Brain Gain was transformed in a think tank. into our party. Brain Gain is a groundbreaking initiative in Albanian politics, allowing members of diaspora to engage politically from wherever they are. This is not only a first for our party, but also for the entire political landscape of Albania, because before it was necessary to be physically present in Albania to be engaged in politics. And with Brain Gain, we created this possibility for Albanian young people mostly, but everyone is allowed. It's not a age quota or something like that, but for everyone. But mostly we are young people to be engaged with articles, with strategical proposition, with conferences, with our academy Brain Gain to make like something like you are going to do with this interview. Our goal is to transform the Albanian diaspora from passive observers into active contributors to the country's future. Through Brain Gain, we provide a platform for their voices to be heard, their expertise to be utilized, and their political participation to be facilitated even from abroad. So with this Brain Gain, we have three Brain Gains: political Brain Gain, administrative Brain Gain, and economic Brain Gain. Political Brain Gain is the first step. So we succeed with this because now about 100 people, excellent, who have made excellent studies in the world, are now engaged in our party. Administrative Brain Gain is one time we came to power, we can make these people be part of future administration, to be part their expertise, to be part of future administration, to be functionaries if in administration. And the third Brain Gain is to make politics that the Albanian diaspora can make investments in Albania and be engaged economically in Albania.
Wow, well, yes, I think there's like a huge tendency of young people probably not being super active in politics, and doing this and having like a structured plan to make people or young people get interest into this. I think it's
Even in opposition,
yeah.
because in the government it's more it's easier to make people engaged in politics. But now,
Yeah, exactly. Well, and moving on to the next question, about your role in the Democratic Party, like as the coordinator of the diaspora voter registration, what measures have you implemented to ensure the participation of Albanians abroad in the upcoming elections? And how do you assess the impact of this group on electoral results?
so for the first time in Albanian's history, the diaspora will have the right to vote in 11 May 2025 in the next parliamentary elections. This is a complex and challenging progress requiring both logical and legal adaptations. As the coordinator of diaspora voter registration, my main focus has been to inform and to guide Albanians abroad through these processes. I have used media to explain the processes, to denunciate the manipulation of vote that is going to be from the government, and as well to present the Democratic Party vision for Albanians living abroad. Because now, as a political party, we are proposing to Albanians diaspora to make, as I said to you, the program of Brain Gain to make the brain of Albania come back in administration and tomorrow in the economy of Albania, which aims to integrate the expertise of the diaspora into state administration in Albania. Additionally, we have proposed also a zero tax policy for the diaspora for the first 5 years on investments made by Albanians in Albania, Albanians abroad, encouraging them to contribute to Albanian's economy development. The impact of the diaspora vote on the electoral result could be significant, but we do not know how this vote can be. Logically, it is a vote of free people who are living in countries where the democracy function, and so they are not uh, forced to vote like Albanians here in Albania. So I think they are going to vote for the change, for the opposition. But now, for the first time, not for the first time, but this year, they are going to have many new political parties, and maybe there will be a vote for them just to change all the old politics, like the government, the socialist party, and the opposition Democratic Party, because are the two biggest party from 34 years, and maybe for the first time, diaspora people are voting for the new parties. But I think that the Democratic Party uh, still is the only opportunity to make the rotation, the changement in the next election, because it's the biggest party, have a great structure, have a history of success, but also of sometimes was the how we say the source of the problem in the past years. So we are helping people to register, but it is a big problem for the older people because it is technological problems. Sometimes they cannot be registered, but until now there are 100,000 people approved to vote from diaspora, and it's for me it's a success. 100,000 people. If we calculate the number of deputies in the past elections, there are about 10 deputies, and in Albanian parliamentary there are 140 deputies. So it's mostly 10% percent of parliamentary. It's good, and there are still 2 weeks to be registered to vote for from abroad.
Okay, yes, and as you were commenting, the Democratic Party has been a major force in the position in recent years, right? So, what strategies does your party propose to regain voters' trust and win the next elections? It is a lot of what you were saying, but like a bit more specifically, is
Yes.
there a strategy or something like that?
The Democratic Party is the only political force in Albania that has presented a concrete program in the last elections, something that hasn't been done from 12 years from the party in the power. Because the power, however, we have facted a voting system manipulated through a combination of criminal gangs, illicit money, and the misuse state resources and public administration to influence elections. So, firstly, we have to fix these problems that are going to manipulate the result of the next elections. This time, for the first time in Albania's history, electoral fraud will be classified as a criminal offense, which will act as a deterrent vote manipulation. So this time it will be more difficult for the government to manipulate the vote. However, we are aware that remains a major challenge. The regain voters' trust and win the next elections, the Democratic Party will propose an emergency economic package aimed at eliminating extreme poverty and strengthening the middle class. At first glance, this may seem like a left-wing policies, but in reality, they are measures designed as something like a war for the human dignity and create economic stability. Because from 12 years, we have a massive emigration and poverty that have to be fixed. For the past 12 years, the Democratic Party has been the strongest voice exposing government scandals and little by little, the criminal system built by the Social Party is being dismantled, not just only in the eyes of the public, but also before justice. So this is making the Democratic Party the strongest alternative of governance and the only real force capable of bringing political change in Albania. So we have this package of emergency economic package, the proposal for diaspora for zero tax for the first 5 years. We have the tax of 10% for everyone, and also the the biggest promise of Democratic Party is uh, to fight the gangs, to fight the crime, and to fight the corruption.
Okay, well, it seems like a lot, but you have like a very structured plan, so I think it will come out like um good. So moving on to the like next part, and talking more about the political and social challenges, just as you were saying, in recent years, Albania has faced protest and corruption allegations. How do you think your party can address these issues and restore trust in public institutions?
But in 2005, 2013, we was in power before. So the Democratic Party has done it before. When we were in power, especially in the early years from 2005 to 2007, we dismantled criminal networks and imprisoned hundreds of gangs members. And we had in 1997 a civil war, so the gangs were everywhere. It was worse than now. So we will do it again by placing serious and responsible individuals at the head of the state, leaders who are accountable and professional, unlike the anonymous figures currently running the country with the organized crime, as I said, with the social party. This is not an easy challenge, but the key of solving Albania's problem is political. Is political. As I said, it's not an economic problem or it's not an ethnical problem, but it's political problem, and corruption, weak institution, and the erosion of trust in the state are fundamentally political issues. With the right leadership and determination, this problem can be tackled and public trust in the institution can be restored. So I think we have to choose our deputies, our parliamentary members, and tomorrow our ministers to make this change. But the problem is political, and the solution will be political.
Yes, totally. And well, we know that Albania wants, the European Union accession has been a key goal for Albania, but we know that this process has been a little bit slow. So, what reforms do you believe are priorities to accelerate this process, and how do you plan to contribute, like from your position?
Uh, I think it's more complex than that. For sure, Albania do not merit the European integration, but this is not just an Albanian problem, it is also a European problem. Beyond Albanians' own challenges, the European Union itself has become more hesitant about enlargement. We know they have changed the system of accepting the new members in the European Union. Unlike before, when the purchase followed a linear progression, the new accession framework allows chapters to be reopened, making it even more complex. So we can accomplish some chapters, and we now with the new system we can go back at the first chapter. Before it was different. This is a system that makes more difficult that Albania or other European countries like Serbia, like Montenegro, or like North Macedonia can be accepted in the next years. This is that being said, Albania has not positioned itself as a strong candidate for EU membership. As I mentioned earlier, when crime and the state are intervened and democracy is backlining. Progress becomes difficult. Even if Albania were to advise in the negotiation, the reality is that today Europe is not ready to expand. However, the geopolitical landscape is shifting with a potential return no, of like an interventional politic, with the return of Donald Trump to the US presidency. American foreign policy may change, which could have significant consequences for the EU state enlargement. Albania is, in many ways, a peripheral village of Europe, so its progress is not dependent in Albanian political changes, but mostly in geopolitical decision of the big powers like USA or European countries like France and Germany, not in Albanian politics. I don't think it's only the progress of democracy in Albania, but also it's a voluntary of big powers.
Yes, it's a pretty tough. As you were saying, it's not as easy as it sounds. And well, moving on more to your vision for the future of Albania, and as a candidate for the parliament, like we know tomorrow, it's a pretty important day for you. What are your main
Yes.
proposals to improve Albania's economy and reduce unemployment, especially among young people? You already talked about like these specific proposals, but more about young people. What will this be about?
As you said, tomorrow I will officially announce my candidacy in my party primaries. So it's not sure if I'm going to be candidate for the parliament, but firstly I will be candidate for my party's primaries, and I must first go through this process to become the official candidate in the elections in May. And you are the first to receive a statement from me online with other people. So, because tomorrow I'm going to make a video message. If I became a candidate and eventually a member of the Albanian parliament, I will strongly be advocate for the fight against the crime and corruption. However, one of my main priorities will also be policy aimed to young couples to give them reason to stay in Albania instead of immigration. As I said, we have a big problem with immigration. This means creating real employment opportunities and making it easier for them, for example, to buy homes, which would also encourage higher birth rates, because in Albania it's catastrophic. The birth rate is catastrophic for the moment, and for the last 12 years it has been very problematic. And with the massive immigration, it's a big problem for the future of Albania. So uh, over the past 12 years, young people and families have suffered the most from economic hardship and lack of opportunities. My focus will be so on easing their lives, the young people's life in Albania, ensuring they can see a future for themselves in country. We have some examples in Hungary, even that this leader or Viktor Orban, maybe it's not the best example for democracy, but their policies have made good results for the young people to stay and to have a higher birth rate in their country. So I think we have examples of for the policies to make people stay in Albania and create a future here, not in immigration.
Yes, and also, well, I think for people to feel comfortable staying in the country, I think it is also important all these challenges that people have been through the years, such as the earthquake, the recent earthquake in 2019 and the COVID-19 pandemic. So, what lessons has the country learned from this crisis, and how do you think institutions can be strengthened to prepare for future emergencies?
One key lesson from this crisis is that Albania cannot rely all its economy on the tourism sector, because we are saying all time, the prime minister say the tourism is functioning, and this is a lesson, because in 2029 in 2019 or 2020, with COVID and earthquake, we proved that the economy was completely shut down, and economy based on that only in tourism is highly vulnerable in times of crisis. So instead, we need to focus on sectors that ensure stability even during economic downturns, such as domestic production, agriculture, and the energy industry. Because in Albania, there are it's a good localization for all these sectors, not only for the tourism. This crisis have also exposed once again the deep-rooted corruption within the Albanian government. This mismanagement of aid, lack of transparency, and inefficient administration. Because in Albania we have a population that is going to be big. So we have uh, how can I say, we have massive immigration, but at the same time we have an enlargement of administration, because this administration is used for political problems, for the political party in the government. We use the administration to make votes, to manipulate votes, and not to solve problems, for example. And this is a issue we have to administrate, to have efficient administration, and to fight the corruption.
Yes, totally. Well, it is also a lot to see and to take into account. And thanks for this perspective, because probably people does not see all these kind of details, but that obviously like it is important. And talking more about your international perspective and how is Albania located like in this international perspective. Albania has maintained like a pro-Western foreign policy, strengthening its ties with NATO and the European Union. So, how do you see Albania's role in the Balkan region, and which international relations do you consider are a priority for the country?
For example, NATO membership was one of the greatest achievements of Democratic Party in 2009, when we were well in power. And today it is a major strategic advantage for Albania. Looking at the war in Ukraine and the ongoing tension between Serbia and Kosovo, it is clear that NATO provides essential security guarantee for our country and the region. So Albania will continue to align itself with Europe and the West, but always with a firm stance against foreign interference in our internal affairs. Western diplomacy should support democratic institutions rather than undermine them. The former US ambassador of Albania, Yuri Kim, for example, was a clear example of how misguided diplomatic approach can harm a country's political stability. And now she is under accusation of corruption in her country, but she impacted for 2 years the internal politics in Albania. It's a long story, but to explain a little bit the situation of the next years of uh, Western diplomacy in Albania. With a potential shift in the US administration, we have reason to believe that this approach will change. Joe Biden administration, heavily influenced by George Soros. I don't know if you know, but George Soros is a personality of the left wing in USA, has not strengthened democracy in Albania. And however, with Trump's possible uh, interaction in the in the international affairs, and the conservative way in the U.S. could once again reinforce Albanian strong pro-Western stance with respecting national sovereignty, because we trust, seeing the history of Albania, we trust very much U.S. U.S. Diplomacy or the strange forces, but not intern sovereignty.
Okay, well, there's already a question about this in the chat, but we will give a time at the end of the interview. And well,
Yes.
moving on, like from your personal reflection, if you're elected to parliament, what will be your main priority during your term, and how do you hope your work will impact on the lives of Albanian citizens?
But as I mentioned earlier, the fight against crime and the implementation of policies that support young people will be my main priorities in elected if I will be elected to parliament. These are the issues that will revitalize the Albanian politic and the population, maybe bring back skilled professional and attract foreign investment to a safer and more stable country. By addressing these challenges, I hope to create an environment where Albanian citizens can thrive, especially the younger generation, who are key of the country's future. My goal is to build a stronger, more prosperous Albanian where citizens feel secure at the first and confident about their opportunities and their country's future. I one one time elected in the parliament, I will be all time discussing with people, because in Albania the deputies once elected, they disappear from their cities where they were elected. And I hope to change this one, to be all time connected with the people, speaking with the people and finding solution. Sometimes the politicians have sometimes the politicians have two bad solutions, but they have to choose the the solution that is, how we say, uh, sometimes we don't have a good solution, we have sometimes two bad solutions, but we have between two bad solutions the best one. I don't know if you understand, but so I have to be all time connected with the people. This is for me the key to have all time the best solution.
Yes, yes, citizen participation, and also if you're elected and having this in your mind and knowing that it is important and that
I
probably
hope
a lot of politics just forget to stay in contact with the
all
people. And
time, all time,
yeah, so
all time. But I think with a new generation this is going to change, because if my parents were not very informed 30 years ago, my generation who had uh, studied, worked in countries, European countries, now they understand the power of the people. So, as in economy is a report, it's a question of demands, what the people demands, and now the people are more informed, and they understand their power.
yes, totally. And to all the people here, if you're not following Ted Kopliku in Instagram, and I think also in LinkedIn and the rest of his social media, he do content creating about all his job, and you can go and follow him.
It is in Albania. I don't think they are understanding, but maybe the form, not the
Yeah,
content,
the context probably, and
the
also I
context.
think we can try to search like what are you doing and all your efforts to make all of your proposals work. So if you're not following him, go and follow him in his social media. And we're almost done with this interview, but before that, we will give just like 2 minutes for questions. So if
Yes.
you have a question or any other issue, you can write it in the chat. But I will go first with a question
I
that was
don't.
in the last question, and it is from Kaylee German, and she says, "Hi, Albania has been trying to join the European Union for years, but the process is still stuck. What do you think is really holding it back? Is it more an issue of Albania's size or European Union's side?" I think you already kind of answered that question, but if you want.
Yes. No, just the processes have changed because it is not linear now. Now, the France and Germany has proposed another system of accepting new countries in Europe that it's not linear. So the process has it's not the same thing. Before, if the chapters of accepting a country was opened one by one, now you can go, you can accomplish all things 12 chapters, and you can come back in the first chapter. So in my opinion, it's Europe is not ready to be enlarged in the next years. Even with the changement with right wings, extreme right wings in power more and more in Europe, I don't think that we are going to be in Europe in the next years. Even democracy will function perfectly in the next year. We are going to win the election, for example, in May. This is not going to change because Europe policy has changed. But we have to see with Trump administration what will be the approach of Trump administration for the make Europe great again. He said, I don't know what this going to be his Europe because he's a very interesting president, but with a lot of surprises. So we have to wait for the future of for the European future of Albania.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, totally. I think this new administration in United States, it's a huge impact in almost every country in the world. But thank you for answering the question. If there are no more questions, I think we will end up this interview. I will. It is. I think it will be the last question, and it is from Brenda, and she says, "I would like to know what has been the biggest problem for Albania." Well, also, I think you already kind of answered the question.
The biggest problem of Albania. This is the question? No.
Yes, yes,
But the biggest problem of Albania that is the government is linked with the crime organization, and they are responsible of cannabization of Albania, and using this money to manipulate votes. And now they are going, they are buying medias, they are buying influence persons, and the changement is very difficult, and the democracy is suffering. For me, this is the biggest problem: the destruction of democracy in these 12 years, and the crime in parliament, the crime in the government is a big problem, and we have to work with this if we are going to win the elections in the next elections in May.
yes, yeah, totally. Well, thank you for answering. Thank you, Brenda, for the question. And I think it's almost I think it's almost time to finish. Well, and thank you for sharing your visions and perspective on Albania's future. Thanks for accepting this invitation. I know that you're almost a day to know like what will be the future of your career. And I think all of the people here will send you like all the good vibes and all the luck and everything so that you have like a great well, you have success in the next step of your career.
But
And
thank you.
no,
Yes.
thanks to you. And well, this has been like an insightful conversation that helps us better understand the challenges and opportunities your country faces, and also like having this perspective. And almost all of the people that is connected here, it is from Latin America. So thanks for giving us that perspective. I think Albania and a lot of the countries in this part of the world face like almost the same issues. So we know that it is almost the same in almost all around like the globe. And we wish you success in your political journey and in your commitment to improving the lives of Albanian citizens. We look forward to seeing how your ideas and proposals contribute to Albania's development in the years to come. So thank you so much, and thanks to all the people that joined the meeting.
Thank you for the invitation. And maybe my English was not perfect because I was in France for 7 years and speaking all the time in French. Maybe it was a little difficult to this interview, but I hope I have done some replies, some responses about politics in Albania. And I hope all of you be engaged in politics in every way you can, because all the problems are politic.
Yeah, totally. And well, to all the people that joined the meeting, there's a forms of assistance. You can fill it, and we will send you just a paper that you say that you assist to the meeting. And thank you so much for everyone that joined. And thank you so much again, Ted. We will look forward to have this contact so that we can still improve the participation of people in politics in general all around the world. And well, thank you so much.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you soon. Goodbye.